Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to another episode of the On Air with Uthmaan Solomons podcast. My name is Uthmaan Solomons, and I'm your host. Thank you for choosing us to keep you company this afternoon. So, on today's show, we're looking at quite a number of things. Start with, we're looking at Nkandla and what has been happening over there this past weekend, and also just how much the Zulus are loyal to ex-President Jacob Zuma. We're also looking at jealousy in general, but more in particular jealousy in our communities, and also jealousy at our workplaces. We're also looking at languages. So often I personally am confronted with languages. I'll delve into that. And then also we're looking at the My Roadcast competition. So thank you for choosing us. Thank you for joining again. Once again, I do appreciate it. Righto. So let's get back into it. Let's get into the today's show. So we know that the judge has handed down a sentence for Jacob Zuma if he didn't pitch for his sentencing of 15 months imprisonment. And this past weekend, a lot of people at his Nkandla homestead, they gathered there, obviously in support of him. But makes it a bit of a problem for our government is that these people disobeyed COVID-19 regulations, that of wearing masks and social distancing in particular. So everybody is up in arms, everybody's upset with the way this gathering in support of Jacob Zuma could potentially be a super spreader event. I won't be surprised if any of them do fall ill in the next couple of days or so with this deadly virus. But for my uitstaan, and I think most people forget this, in the apartheid era, up until recently in the late 1990s, a lot of people supported the Afrikaner weerstandbeweging. Their leader in particular was Eugene ter Blans. And in all honesty, I looked at it, the whole thing about Nkandla, about Zuma, about his supporters being the Zulus, most of them. And I don't see any difference between them, the way they are acting, and the way the RVB supporters and Eugene ter Blans supporters acted in the apartheid era and now in the early 90s, up until Eugene ter Blans obviously passed on. But to me, it's just the same thing. And we obviously all know what happened to Eugene ter Blans, and the RVB is obviously just it sort of, in my opinion, just dwindled and disappeared into the history books. So I think if you want to compare the two, you can definitely do so. I don't see any difference between the two. As far as jealousy goes, the next point I made for myself, as far as jealousy goes, I think jealousy, personally, I think it's a bad thing for anyone to have. It's just not a good thing to have within yourself and within your heart. Ek persoonlik, I just never can be jealous of anyone. I want what's best for every single person, or every single individual. And I mean, jealousy definitely stems from the fact that you're scared that you might never get that person have, whatever that person have, whether it be a financial value or public status or anything like that. Personally, I feel that each one of us get what is set out for us by our maker, our creator, the nourisher, the sustainer of all the worlds, which is the Lord above. And we really shouldn't be jealous of one another. What jealousy actually does, it just creates sleepless nights for the person who is jealous. And in a lot of cases, it's also bad for the person who the jealousy is portrayed upon, because this person now have to walk around with stories or in most cases gossip stories about him or her. He or she feels they now need to prove themselves to be worthy of whatever the next party is jealous of them having, and it's just not a good thing at all. I think I'm going to skip the languages one for now and get into that in the next episode. But lastly, on the bullet points that I made, I would just like to express a great heartfelt thanks to all of those who voted for me in the My Roadcast competition. The lines does close tomorrow, and I don't think anybody else would still have a chance to vote. But for those of you who did vote, I really do appreciate it. I'm just going to sit back and wait and see what the results turn out to be, and I'm going to keep my eyes open on the road social media pages, and I think they put these updates up on their Facebook page. But thank you for joining me for another episode. I'm going to try and keep it sweet and short like myself, and I'll be with you on another episode in the not so distant future. Until next time, peace.